Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. O Lord, please lead us from unreal to the reality, from ignorance to the knowledge, and from death to immortality. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, we had a long back lecture, more than a month or so. I think in the December end somewhere we had the talks or discussions on the particularly Jnana Yoga. Afterwards, I think the whole of January I was out, different parts of the Ireland for Vivekananda Jayanti celebrations. So we couldn't have discussions on Swami Vivekananda's Jnana Yoga. I hope some of you remember where we were. So we were in the middle of Jnana Yoga actually. So we were discussing on the particular chapter called God is everything or God in everything. So this is the essence or the summary of the Ishavasya Upanishad, which is one of the shortest Upanishad among the major Upanishads, which runs 18 shlokas. So the essence of the Ishavasya Upanishad has been given to the US audience way back in 1894-95 by Swami Vivekananda. He started with very interesting question. Probably if you remember my previous class, you will understand that should we renounce the world? Does scriptures ask us to renounce the world? Definitely not really. Then what does the scriptures ask? If you ask, Swami Vivekananda says, try to leave or give away the wrong notion about the world. So when the scriptures say that renounce the world, what does it mean? Swami Vivekananda is saying that try to give away, renounce the wrong notion, wrong idea about the world. What does it mean? So he's speaking from the non-dualistic school of philosophy point of view. Advaita Vedanta point of view means the world is real. The Satyatva Buddhi, we say. The world is real, whatever as of now we think. That notion of the reality belongs to the notion of the reality belongs to the self consciousness, not to the world. So give up that the reality, that world is real. Now, how to understand? This is a very abstract concept and very subtle idea even. So probably some analysis and understanding, deeper understanding is required. Now, we are all seeing the world, we are perceiving the world, and we are living in the world. For day-to-day affairs, we have taken it for granted. Now, how do we get the knowledge of this empirical world? Through 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 sense organs of knowledge, and mind. Through instruments called 5 sense organs of knowledge and the mind, we are getting the knowledge of the world. This is a rose. This is a mobile. This is a computer. Or this is a chocolate. And I have got some notion, some understanding about all these things. Fine. At the same time, I'm thinking that this is real. So now the Vedanta asks, or it questions the testimony of our knowledge. Through 5 sense organs of knowledge and mind, we are getting wonderful knowledge. Never mind, accept, appreciable. But what is the guarantee that only that is the knowledge? And also Swami Vivekananda tells, it is with the help, with the 5 sense organs of knowledge and mind, plus your samskaras, your likes and dislikes, your love and hatred, or feelings, or emotions, or your tendencies, that is also mixed up. That's how I am seeing the world. The world I am seeing, the Brahman, the self, plus your mind, your sense organs, and your tendencies, all put together, your perception of the world is actually, or your experience in the world. Now, the basic validity of the sense organs and the mind is questioned by Vedanta. We are getting the knowledge of this empirical world by this mind and sense organs. Fine. At the same time, that means it is limiting our perception, our understanding of this empirical world. Say tomorrow, if I or you or any one of you get some special energy or some special strength by which I can see bacteria, virus, fungus, and small microscopic materials, for an example, then whatever in this room, I see that in the between these four walls, everything is empty now, I'm saying. But if I'm able to see all that microscopic items, then my perception about this thing changes. Or other words, from electromagnetic spectrum point of view, I can see in the particular frequency and wavelength. There are X-rays, there are UV radiation, there are gamma rays, there is alpha rays. We cannot see, but we know that we have got missions to see that. Even for example, our mobile radiations. Why our mobile internet is working? Because whether there's internet 4G or 5G, which is nothing but which has got a particular frequency and wavelength. Can I see this radiation? Can I see this 4G or 5G? I cannot see. But I can experience or I can infer by putting on my mobile internet button on or my laptop or desktop on. So it is able to receive the data, then I infer that, okay, I'm able, my internet is working, I'm getting 4G or 5G, but I'm not able to see. Say for discussion's sake, today I got a power, tomorrow I got a power to see all of these radiations, then my understanding about this world, experiencing about the world and the knowledge of the world changes or it gets widened. The circumference of the knowledge of the world, it gets widened. So, the Vedanta is asking you try to widen the circumference of your experience of knowledge so much so that the whole world has been covered by our consciousness alone exists. Isha Vasyamidam Sarvam. Cover everything with the Lord, means cover the whole world with the consciousness. Yat kincha jagatyam jagat. In this world, whatever small or big, living, non-living, sentient, insentient, everything you cover with the consciousness. Why the Rishi is saying that cover with the consciousness? Because it is a practice for us to do now. I'm not able to experience it. By time and again, when I cover consciousness, the whole world I cover with the consciousness and I'm seeing, I'm practicing, then slowly I'll be able to understand and experience. So switch over from materialistic prospect, materialistic attitude or perception to consciousness perception. That is what Swami Vivekananda is saying based on the Advaita Vedanta. And one more example I will give you, you probably will be able to understand. Now, for an example, moon. Now, if I ask, there are 10 people, and if I ask 10 people, can you define moon? Some of you may say, Swamiji, moon is a planet. Sorry, moon is a, what do you say? It is a part of solar system, and it is our moon. And basically, it has got some gas, and it has got some minerals, and it has got some particular gravitational force and mass and whatnot. Because science says that today we have got a lot of evidences. Someone say, probably in Indian culture, we have got that moon is called uncle. In the olden days, mothers used to show that, look, there is a Chanda Mama, there's an uncle called moon, and they used to show and they used to feed the children. So whoever is aware of these stories, they will define probably the moon as it is my uncle. Moon is my uncle. And someone say, if he's a poet, any one of you poet, moon is so beautiful, Swamiji. When you see moonlight, you feel so happy. And I get a lot of ideas to write some poem, to compose poems or whatever. So he's seeing moon as an instrument for the inspiration to write poems. Then someone, a Vedantin, says that, Swamiji, the Vedas say, the Upanishads say, moon is a god. There is a god, Chandradeva. There is a God behind that, and who is ruling our mind, who is ruling the gravitational force of our solar system. So we should pray to him so that our mind can be calm, quiet, serene, whatnot. Now, someone said moon is a mass of land, gases and soil and whatnot. Someone said moon is an uncle. Someone described moon as an instrument for his inspiration to write poem, and someone said moon is a god, as an angel. And even in Egypt civilization, we can see in the many ancient civilizations, we can see where they describe moon as a god. Now, only one object called moon, but we have got different perceptions or different notions or different ideas about one moon. Now, which is real actually? All are maybe real, all are limited in their perception or in their knowledge. What is moon then? It is just consciousness. Now I am experiencing this universe in this particular fashion. Why? Because of my sense organs and because of my mind alone. If tomorrow, if my sense organs nature changes, then my perception of the entire universe, empirical world changes. That is where the Vedanta is saying that mithya, illusion. So the Vedanta is never saying that the world doesn't exist. The world doesn't exist. Asat, it is not saying that. Only what, how you are perceiving in that fashion, in that idea, the world doesn't exist. And probably one more example, standard example, which I have given quite a few times. When we were small, we got toys. Parents brought toys for us. We were playing with that and we loved, and even probably toys would have taken, we would have kept with that toys and would have slept even. Mother or father said, leave, the toy will be there with you, keep aside and you sleep. No. Then probably would have cried to keep the toy from our hand and would have kept the toy and we would have slept. Toy is our world at that given point of time. Then slowly, slowly, when we grow, then we leave the toy. Now, when you see the toy, there is no fundamental difference or a physical difference with the toy which I was using 10 or 20 years before. But the value I give for the toy when I was small, when I am adolescent, when I am grown up, it is completely changed. So there is no physical or structural change, but my perception about the toy is changing. The same thing the Vedanta is asking. So world you are seeing as a matter, world you are seeing as an element, world you are seeing as a place of joy or place of enjoyment or whatnot. So it's all limited perceptions, but consciousness alone exists. Try to see the consciousness. So when according to Swami Vivekananda, when the scriptures say that renounce the world, give up the world, means what? Give up the wrong notion that world as a matter is only real. That wrong notion or limited understanding, give up that limited understanding, which is called illusion, which is called scientifically from the Vedantic way, it is mithya. And that is what called Maya. Then what is true then? True is what? Self or consciousness alone is true. This is what the example of all the saints and the prophets and the incarnations, which we can see in the life of Ramakrishna, which we can see in the life of Vivekananda. In all their life, we can see that they had experienced that the whole world and whatever the time and space causation, everything is an appearance. The consciousness alone exists. When the consciousness is seen in the framework of time and space, that's what it appears as a world. Apart from that, nothing else. So give up the world means give up the wrong notion about the world, not physically renouncing it. That's what Swamiji is saying. As a corollary, what happens? Very interesting part, Swamiji brings this idea in between lines. So that means there is no good, there is no bad. Actually speaking, from the highest point of view. But in our day-to-day thing, in transactional reality, yes, all these things are there. We have to accept, we have to accordingly, we have to do our transactions. But strictly speaking, there is no good and there is no evil. Why? Because when there is when there is only consciousness, then where is the question of good and where is the question of bad? Having said, still we cannot believe this. Then Swami Vivekananda gives a beautiful explanation for this. How do you define then good and how do you define evil then? If you ask, Swami Vivekananda is saying that when the divinity is more manifested, we call it as a good, and when there's a less manifestation of divinity or consciousness, that which we call evil. Why we respect, why we worship the saint And why not the sinner, if you ask? Because in the saint, the divinity is manifested more, and in the sinner, it is very less. That's why we worship saints and not the sinner. From the transactional reality point of view, from the absolute reality point of view, there is no saint and there is no sinner, because there is only self and there is only consciousness. The same idea has been given beautifully in Bhagavad Gita. Who is the Pandita? Pandita means wise person. What? Who is wise person? Means who has experienced the knowledge, who has experienced the self. So what is his nature? Shuni chaiva shvapa kecha pandita samadarshinaha. He sees dog and a realized person or the saint and the dog eater or any other creatures or any other type of human being. He sees everyone equally. Means why? Because everyone, that inner core is what? Divinity. Samadarshina, he sees in the equality. And this can be the one of the wonderful philosophy base for our life and for our society also. We should treat everyone equally, we should love everyone equally, and we should give, socialism and all, we speak of it. Why? We are all human beings. So everyone has got a right to live, everyone has to given all the equal opportunities, we all speak. Now the Vedanta can be the wonderful base, wonderful philosophy for this. Why? Because in everyone there is a divinity. So no one you can make someone inferior, make someone superior. So see everyone in an equal mind or with the equal eyes. How? Because the divinity is there in everyone. Now the question comes for all of us. Someone we know that who is a cheater. He's a cheating, he's a lying. Now divinity is there in him, fine. Now what should we do? Whether should we accept or reject him? Yes. As a person of divinity, we have to accept him. And we should not get carried over by his personality. But at the same time, from the transactional reality point of view, we have to be careful and we have to be alert, and so that we should not get cheated, or we should not get again and again allow him to cheat us. So that is what very important we have to understand. And one more thing, Swamiji next he tells that based on the scriptures, desire is the root cause of suffering. When you say everything is consciousness, consciousness alone exists, then why we are suffering? If you ask, then Swami Vivekananda is saying, desire is the root of suffering. Desire is the cause of suffering. Then again question comes, oh Swami, come on, don't ask us to give up the desires. Well, Buddha also has told desire is the root cause for suffering. Okay, Swami Vivekananda is telling. That means, okay, you are asking not to renounce the world, but you are asking to renounce the desires. Do you mean that? No. Swami Vivekananda is saying that when I say give up desires, or when scriptures say give up desires, we don't mean that you should not have any desires at all. You want to have desires, have it, enjoy it, experience it, but whatever the result comes, accept it. So this is what you have to be very clear. So that means I always tell, buy one, get one free. I like ice cream, I ate ice cream, and I got a sore throat. Fine. You wanted to enjoy ice cream. I'm not stopping it. You enjoy the ice cream it is not that when I eat ice cream, always you get a sore throat, whatever it may be, because you got some problem, but still you want to eat, because for desire, you ate ice cream and you got some sore throat or cold or whatever, you experience it. But while eating ice cream, you enjoy. When you get a suffering, then you will complain. That should not be there. That reaction should not be there. Swami Vivekananda is telling first point. And the second, Swamiji is telling that desire is the root cause of suffering. Then give up desires. Then when you give up the desires, then there is no suffering at all. When there is no suffering, then you can live a happiest life. Then the question comes, is it possible? Is it practical? And without having any desires, can we live? Oh, I think it's a bland life, blank life, no fun, no maja. I think it is not worth of it. Yeah, maybe little suffering, little experience, fine. Then we'll have desires. Then fine, you have it. Then Swami Vivekananda says that, see, if you want to earn money, earn. And you want to earn more money, earn. And you want to build a house, build it. And you want to be a millionaire, have it, do it. But understand that don't possess the ownership. Kartrutva bodha we say in Sanskrit. Don't possess the ownership. That's what Swami Vivekananda is saying. That we can see very clearly in Swami Vivekananda's life. Swami Vivekananda's guru, Sri Ramakrishna, gave him some mission, save him some work. So to teach the Vedanta mankind either in India or in the Western part, he did it. He returned from America in 1897. Then he established Ramakrishna Mission. Ramakrishna Mata, Ramakrishna Mission he established, and he made Swami Brahmanandaji, one of his brother disciple, monastic disciple, as the first president, and he withdrew. I have worked so much and I went to West, I brought money and I've started this because of me only I did all these things, and now I've started a ashram, and how can you say that I should not have it, I should not enjoy it? Yeah. So work everything. If you want to be billionaire, you want to become, you want to achieve something, have all the things, but don't get attached or don't take the role of possessorship. That's what Swami Vivekananda is saying. So give up desire means give up the possessorship. The same thing very clearly we can see in the life of Krishna. We all know that when Krishna was born, he was born in a prison. Then in night, as a miracle, everyone went, unconscious, and his own father, Vasudeva, took him and he put him in a Vrindavan with the Nanda Babu. Then he was grown for some time and he had to face a lot of problems when he's a child, baby. Then Kamsa came to know, Kamsa called him and he slain Kamsa, and he could become very easily king, but he never became. Instead of that, he restored the Kamsa's father as even either he could become the king or his father could have become the king, Vasudeva. Instead of that, the Kamsa's father, whoever was there, I think Shurasena or Ugrasena, so he restored him as a king. Same thing, he slain Narakasura. And Narakasura's son was young that time, but still he after killing Narakasura, and so many people were there, so many women were there under prison, they were all left free and all these things, and they were unable to go back to their houses. He took them, all of them, to his kingdom, and he made all the arrangements for their stay. But he could have been, because it was a big kingdom, Narakasura's, he could have become easily king, or he could have made his own son or his own relatives as a king. He never made. Instead of that, Narakasura's son was restored or made as a king. And in one more place, I don't remember now who is the person who was not doing his activities properly, was doing all illegal activities. He killed him. He warned him, but the king didn't pay any attention. Krishna killed him. And for that particular king, he never had any son or daughters. Then in those days, woman empowerment today we speak, in those days itself, Krishna, the wife of that particular king, he made her as a queen, and that whatever Rajya Pattabhisheka we say, that coronation he did for that lady itself, for the queen itself, and he said that today onwards she will rule your kingdom, all the subjects and your ministers and chief in commanders, you have to listen to her. And saying that, he left. So whole of his life, if you see, and in Kurukshetra war and so many places, he helped people. He was cursed and he was criticized, and he was taken into task from many people for no reasons. Out of the way he helped, but still he was criticized and all. But in spite of all that, he never had a possessorship. That's why he is known as Yogeshwara Krishna, who was well steadfast in a yoga. Yoga means spirituality or in the self. So that's what Swami Vivekananda is telling. Give up desire means give up the possessorship. The same idea has been told very beautifully in the Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, Kshetra, Kshetragna Yoga. Kshetra is this body, including mind. Kshetragna is the person who is indwelling. So I, as a Kshetragna, I am the self, and this acquiring the wealth and working and becoming millionaire, becoming billionaire, everything is pertaining to Kshetra, which is body and mind, not to me. So take the stand of witness and do all these things, and don't get attached. Don't take the lead of possessorship. Then whatever you do, nothing going to affect you. In all the great people's life, we can see that they did. For example, Saint Francis of Assisi. He created his own church, So when he wanted to his own church, there was a issue, and he went to Rome along with his friends who had become monks. Then there was a discussion whether he should be allowed. Then the Pope gave a permission for him. Yes, you can start your own church. Then he was very happy. He came back, and in Germany or France, he started his own convent and his own thing. And his disciples, slowly, he was a very mystic in his approach. He had never had any much of rules, regulations. In an informal way, the monastery ran. The monastery run and the church and everything. And slowly, his disciples started dominating the Saint Francis of Assisi and his friends. So much so that his disciples, they pushed his own guru, teacher, the Saint Francis of Assisi and others, they pushed corner. And at some point of time, Saint Francis of Assisi and his that people who started, they had to leave the place, and they left the monastery which they had started, and they had to face a lot of criticism. They had to face a lot of hardships. Here they went to Pope Rome, and they had to, convince the Pope, and they to get permission. All of that work they did, and finally, because of the disciples, they had to leave the church, and they left happily, and just in the forest or in the top of the hill, somewhere they lived, and they remembered. They were remembering the God or God-centered life they led, and they left this mortal coil. But there was no reaction, there was no suffering in their minds. Why? Because as a duty or whatever, they did it, but there was no sense of possessorship. I started the church. How can you say that you ask me to go away, or how can you ask me to not to do work, or how are you not listening to me? Because of this possessorship, it makes us suffer. So Swami Vivekananda is saying, when scriptures say that give up the desire, desire is the root cause of suffering. So give up the desires means what? Give the sense of possessorship. I did. That I should refer to consciousness, not to this body and mind. But unfortunately, this I is referring to the body and mind. That's where the problem is. Swami Vivekananda is giving the beautiful example. And he gives the rationale also beautifully. He brings the karma doctrine for this. Now, for example, some desire is there, my nature is there, my personality is there, my strength and weakness is there. All these things, why? Because of my actions, either in the previous lives or in the present life, in the previous times. So whatever my actions I have done, good action, bad action, right action, wrong action, ethics, ethical action, unethical actions I have done, that have created a residue, which is called karma phala, that has created my personality. So I am enjoying, I am suffering, I am profitable, and I am loser or whatnot. So all this, whatever we say, profit and loss, good and bad, all these things, what? Because it is a residue of actions. So start looking from this point and keep on doing good actions. Then what happens? Then you get purified. When you get purified, your mind gets purified. What happens? You'll be able to experience yourself. Who are you in reality? And what you are suffering, whatever you are saying, that one is the sense of possessorship, and because of your actions, you are suffering. So your nature is not suffering because of your sense of possessorship, and because of your actions, you are suffering. So try to understand that. And he also says that the whole world, the consciousness alone exists. And when you come down a bit, the whole world is a moral gymnasium. You say world is a prison. Some say world is so beautiful. And Swami Vivekananda is telling the world is a moral gymnasium. It is a wonderful opportunity, or it is a wonderful stage given by the nature, or yourself you have taken to work out your samskaras, to work out your own karma phalas, that is fruits of action. So this is a world is a moral field, moral gymnasium. By doing good action, wrong action, bad action, achievements, all these things, what happens? You are becoming more and more strong. So if you are right, if you are going the path of righteousness by doing right actions, ethical actions, that means what? You are manifesting your divinity more and more. Then you are unethical, you are immoral, you are wrong, you are doing all heinous actions, crimes, sins. That means what? The manifesting of the divinity is lesser. That's all. So the world is a wonderful battlefield or the stage where you can manifest the divinity more and more, and you can experience the divinity more and more. So start viewing this world as a model gymnasium instead of either it is a place of suffering, place of prison, or whatnot. What a beautiful idea. So when we think all these things, apart from the highest point, like the world is what you see, it is mithya, only consciousness alone exists. That can be highest value or highest philosophy for us, possibly. And this is a very great, I think, theory or philosophy or point. The world is a stage where there's a science of infinite possibilities are there to manifest the divinity, to experience the divinity through our actions. Now I'm enjoying or I'm suffering, if you say, that is because of your actions and because of your possessorship and because of your attitude or perceptions. That is what Swamiji is telling that. So good and bad, then I'm suffering. Okay, then what do you think, or how should I take up? How should I view? If you ask, Swamiji is telling good, bad, right, wrong, happiness, and suffering. They are the greatest teachers for the humankind or the human mind. If you are suffering, means that means you have done something not right. Understand, analyze, know it, and live up. Leave or give away or whatever. Yourself correct. So this is the greatest teachers. So don't think that they are the life is a burden, the work is a burden, or the world itself is a prison, place of prison. Don't think that. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to experience our divinity or experience the self or consciousness. And this good, bad, right, wrong, they're the greatest teachers of our mind, of ourselves. So understand this and try to keep on doing good things. By that, what happens? You manifest your divinity and you'll be nearer to God or you'll be nearer to self. So, a practical application of the Vedantic teachings we can see in the Swamiji's philosophy based on the Ishavasya Upanishad. Then Swamiji tells, now, okay, consciousness, you are saying that, why should I seek consciousness at all? Why should I seek self? Okay, I'm happy with these things in the mundane world. There can be some problem. There may be sufferings. Okay, I'm happy with this. Why should I seek suffering? I mean, why should I seek consciousness? If you ask, he gives an example of Jesus Christ, teaching from the Bible. The kingdom of heaven is within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. That means what? The self, the consciousness, or the source of happiness, the source of bliss is in you. I think in the Kabir Doha, there's a beautiful Kasturi Mrugudundat Banumai. There's a beautiful couplet. Means there the deer, it searches. There's a beautiful smell, beautiful fragrance is coming. The reindeer is searching. The whole forest it is searching. And it searches and it searches. It got tired sometimes and it may die also in searching. But the deer is unable to understand that the fragrance, whatever it was smelling or whatever it was getting, experiencing, that was from its own stomach. There's a beautiful fragrance, a small thing. It is from reindeer, it is coming inside actually, but it is not aware of it. And it searches the entire forest for that fragrance. So similarly, my real nature, my core nature is what? Atman. How it is explained, defined? It is existence, awareness, bliss absolute. Now, I like chocolate. I eat chocolate. When I eat chocolate, I am enjoying. I am happy. I want a car. I purchased a car. I am happy. My happiness stays for a few days. I wanted something to get, probably to build a castle or to get something, and I got it. I am happy. Now, the Vedanta asks, does happiness resides in chocolate? Does happiness resides in the car? Does happiness resides in the building? Does happiness resides in the power or position? Initially, you may feel yes, but it is not. So you are superimposing the happiness on the item, on the particular thing, and when you get it, you are thinking that that particular thing is giving an happiness. You like chocolate, Cadbury's, and when you got Cadbury's, you are thinking that by eating Cadbury's, by having Cadbury's, you are thinking that you are happy, but not. So you are superimposing the happiness on the Cadbury's, and when you're consuming the Cadbury's, you are thinking that Cadbury's is giving happiness. No, the happiness is in you, your real nature, bliss, Ananda. That Ananda is superimposed on the Cadbury's, and you are thinking that Cadbury's is giving you Ananda. The same logic can be extended to every item in the world. Someone likes jewelry, someone likes gold, someone like name and fame, someone like power and position, someone like XYZ items. So we think that By getting that, I am happy. And the whole of life we are chasing behind things, because if I get this, I'm happy. I got two-wheelers, I'm happy. And afterwards, I think I should get four-wheelers. Then I'm happy. I got it. Then four-wheelers, it is a normal vehicle, it's a second hand. Slowly I should get first-hand vehicle. Okay. Then you worked hard for few days or few months or years, then you got it. Yeah, this is a normal car. Slowly I should try, probably, if possible, I can try for BMW car. Like this, keep on, our desires keeps on increasing, and we think by having this I'll be happy, by having that I'll be happy. And in the searching of happiness, we get momentary happiness from all these things, never mind. But in search of happiness in the things or in the world and its object, we end our life. So this unnecessary journey, unnecessary struggle is what mithya according to the Vedanta. So Swami Vivekananda is saying that bliss is in you. The kingdom is heaven. The kingdom of heaven is within you, as Jesus Christ said. So the bliss is in you. That is your inherent nature, your swarupa. And unfortunately, you are trying to find out, you are trying to search that happiness in different objects, in different people. This is what Maya, this is what illusion, this is what delusion. So instead of seeking the happiness outside, seek the happiness inside, because you are that, and it is your inherent nature. For an example, if you see in the Puranas, in the mythologies, we see the Egypt kings, they wanted to live eternally. In the Puranas, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Kamsa, Mahishi, Mahishasura, they did hundreds of years of penance. And when Lord Brahma appears, oh, what do you want? Oh, I want to live eternally. I don't want death. Brahma says, routine dialogue in the stories, if you see. The demon asks, I don't want to die, so please give me that immortality. Then Lord Brahma says, so no, my dear, whoever has got date of manufacture, everyone will have date of expiry also. That is the nature of nature law. You can't go, you can't get out. I don't have a power to change it. So since you have got date of manufacture, you have got date of expiry also. So date of expiry, the mode of date of expiry can be changed, but date of expiry cannot be made at all. Okay, then they used to make permutation combination. I should not get killed by this, by that, etc. But somehow some loophole used to be there. From that loophole, they used to die. So what does it mean there? So the demons, they want to live eternally. They want to exist eternally. Why? Because my nature, everyone's nature is what? Sat, existence, that we are thinking that by living physically in this mundane world, empirical world eternally, then I will be happy. No. That existence, that eternal existence, crying for eternal existence, it is my inherent nature. Again, I'm thinking this in this empirical world or in the body, which is called mithya. So stop it. I want to be knowledgeful. No, even fool, even he is the best among the fools probably in the world. If we can give a Nobel Prize for his foolishness, even such a person, he never likes to be called him as a fool. He also thinks that I may not be very intelligent, but I'm intelligent. There's a common, phenomena. Everyone, we all think that we are intelligent, we are all wise people. Every even ignorant person, they'll think that he's wise. And we seek knowledge. We keep on seeking knowledge. Because of that, today we are understanding so many things. I think 2 or 3 days before I saw a small documentary there. They are saying that recently they have found out one of the youngest star in our, I think, in the Milky Way galaxy or the nearby galaxy. Of course, the distance is 4.5 or 6 light years, which goes hundreds of kilometers, thousands of kilometers. But that's the newest star where the formation of planet is happening. There's the gas and the soil and the rocks and the asteroids and all. It is revolving fast in the speed and all. They are saying that, and they're very happy about to know the formation of a planet probably, and they're trying to know more and more. So, what is the base among all these things? And in the Indian Ocean, they have found out a hole from there. Air is coming, it seems. Water is leaking, it seems. In the ocean, there's a water leak. In a house, water leak, we can understand. In a ocean, there's a water leak, and what is the pros and cons they are discussing and all. Today, engineers are scientists. So that means we are seeking knowledge. We are seeking knowledge. We want to know more. We want to know more. We want to know more. Why? Because my inherent nature is what? Awareness. My inherent nature is what? Consciousness. And that awareness or the knowledge I am trying to see in this external world. How much ever I try, it is known out. It has got its own pros and cons. It has got own plus and minus points, but there is never an end. That's where in our old ancient days, in the Indian rishis, spiritual scientists, they tried and they found out many things. Atomic theory, they gave so many things they gave, and they understood there is no end to this. And they started finding what is the source of all these things. Then they went inside and they thought, Paranchikani Vitrunat Swayambhu, Parang Pashyati Nantaratman, Kashchit Dhiragatmana Maikshat, Avrutta Chakshur, Amrutatvam Icchan. In Kathopanishad, it says, people understood, the rishis understood, the senses are giving a distorted image of this universe. So stop going outside. They thought, they discussed, they know, they came to know. Then what did they do? Paranchikani Vetunatsvam. Parang Pashyati Nantaratma. By going out how much ever, by getting advanced externally, it is all fine, but there is no end to it. We don't get the eternality or the source. Then Kashchit Dhira, few Dhiras, means who has got real intelligent intuition, real understanding. Kashchit Dhira, Avrutta Chakshur Amrutatvam Icchan. Desiring the immortality, they went inside, they started seeing inside, and they found that whatever is there inside, that is from which the whole world is made up of. The macrocosmos and macrocosmos. Swami just given a beautiful lecture in Jnana Yoga. The whole world is made up of I, you, everything is made up of that same material, which is called self or consciousness or whatever. That we found out of rishis. That is what self. So why should we seek self? Why should we cover the entire creation from the consciousness? Because that is the only reality. And by seeking it, by experiencing, that is the only way to experience the everlasting bliss. We all want to be happy at all times. Fine, but in the world it is not possible. Initially we think yes, but slowly we will, when we go to middle age or 50s nearly, we think that probably it is not possible because the world is a mixture of opposites and all. Then slowly, then when you go inside and when you seek yourself, when you experience yourself, then you are happy. Things may not change externally. People may not change in and around you. You may be poor. You may be incur loss in your business, but you will not be unhappy. Why? Because you know who are you and what is the source of your happiness and your real nature. You will know. That is what Swamiji is telling. And after this, Swamiji asked one more beautiful question. So is Vedanta, or the scriptures are asking not to work, not to perform action? Because we have got an idea, wrong notion, pseudo idea that if I have to go spiritually, if I have to advance spiritually, then I should not do work. I have to keep quiet. Because na karmana, na prajena, dhayena, tyagena, eke amrutatva manushu. Upanishads himself said. Na karmana, not by action. Na dhanena, not by wealth. And na prajaya, not having a progeny or a fan following or celebrity, becoming a celebrity or whatever. Na karmana, na prajaya, na dhanena, tyagena, eka amrutatva manushu. One can attain immortality by renouncing alone. So scriptures have said. So we have to renounce. Na karmana, first itself it's saying, by action you cannot get immortality. So then I should stop action. I should stop working. So this is what sometimes it is a misnomer, wrong idea. Is really scriptures have said this? Swamiji is asking us. Then Swamiji says that no. So the scriptures have never said that don't work or stop working. So the scriptures are not telling to become lazy. Then what scriptures are asking? Scriptures are asking don't get attached to the actions and its result. Be detached, take a role of witness and work. If that is the case, Swami Vivekananda was the greatest worker. The whole of his life, not a single day he sat quietly. Initially, he struggled to experience the self for having a Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Then he traveled all over India to understand and to awaken the India. And he came to West and he spread Vedanta. And again, he came back to India and he gave through his lectures and through his work and letters, he aroused the Indian masses. He established mission. Then again, he came to West and he left his mortal coil. Not a single day, I think he had any picnic or a holiday or anything. Shankaracharya, in those days, even while traveling on the foot, who is one of the greatest Advaitin, he traveled all over India twice or thrice and he taught or he preached Advaita Vedanta, non-dualistic philosophy. They didn't keep quiet. Then what does it mean? So Swami Vivekananda is saying that scriptures are not saying that be actionless, means it is not that don't do action. They are not saying that don't work, be lazy, keep quiet. No, it is not external sense, it is internal sense. Quieten your mind. You may be working physically, you are working, you are doing business, you are in a market from morning to evening, you are doing business deals, but your mind can it be quiet? Once you do finish everything and you go back to your house or a room, then can you cut all these things and you can be with yourself? That is possible. Swamiji is saying that be detached. Take the role of witness. Take the lead of witness. Then you are doing all these things, but you are not disturbed. That same idea has been told beautifully by Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavad Gita, by Krishna as Padma Patram Ivambasa. Just be like lotus leaf. Lotus is born in the water, in the pond where there's a lot of what you say trash or the very clay and dirt and whatnot. But you see, the lotus leaf, on the lotus you put a good water or a bad water, dirty water, whatever, it doesn't stain. Immediately it goes away. Means live the life of detachment. You do whatever work you want. You can be a busiest person in the world, but still you can be spiritual. How? By being detached for the work and its action. That is what Swamiji is telling. So it is not that keep quiet means, it is not that being lazy, not stopping the external actions, rather quietening your mind, control the restlessness of the mind, arrest your restlessness of the mind, longing for desires, longing for results, stop it and be detached. Take the role of witness. By that, what happens? You can do anything, but you will be happy. You will not be disturbed. And probably you can remember the story of a Veda Gita, the butcher. He was doing, I mean, slaughtering the animals and he was selling and all, but he was the greatest person. Even a monk approached him to learn the lessons of religion. Monk, he went to learn, he had to go and learn some lessons of religion from the butcher, and he was a householder. What he did his duty just from the, he did the duty for duty's sake, and he was never attached for any of these things. When he was slaughtering the animals, neither he enjoyed nor he suffered. So he was doing his as a profession. It was a family profession. He continued and he did his duty, work for work's sake, and he was never attached, never getting disturbed. And same thing when he came, as a duty is to take off his responsibilities to parents and family and all. But again, for a duty's sake, he did all these things, but he was never attached. He was one of the evolved soul. He was spiritually evolved soul. So this is what Swamiji is telling. So when you say Vedanta says that you are a consciousness and self, so should you leave the world? Should you give up your work? If you ask, Swami Vivekananda is saying no. So only give up the attachment. And Swami Vivekananda tells one more important point is what is the attitude? For what is the reason or what is the intention you are working? I am working. Say for an example, I am going to some charity and I am helping them. What is your intention? Yeah, because slowly in charity in this organization, a lot of people come. So if I am working there to spend service, then I will get some new people, some big shots we come to know, then I can get some help from them. This can be some intention. Yeah, if I do some help in the charity institution because it's a big institution, slowly I may get recognition. Or I have got politically I want to grow in political field, so I will know many people, then I can probably grow prosperous in political field. Or by doing that slowly I can earn money. So intentions are very, very important behind the work. What work you do is not, it is important, no doubt. More than that, the intention behind is very important. By that, your attachment and detachment comes into picture. That defines good action and bad action, right action and wrong action. That is what Swami Vivekananda is telling. And one more, he's saying that again, he concludes that giving up the world, because he started from there and he's concluding that all these discussions, giving up the world, renouncing the world means what? Renouncing the attachment to the world or the Satyatva Buddhi. The world as a matter, the world has this elements which is real, you are seeing that give away, Swami Vivekananda is saying. And afterwards, he gives a beautiful explanation. Then what about you say this world is a demonical world? World is full of misery. World is with full of problems and all. Whatever you are saying, explaining or criticizing, whatever you say, that is all because of ignorance. The world is neither good nor bad. It is. The world is neither good nor bad. It is. If you are good, because you are seeing good things. If he is bad, it is because you are seeing bad things. Because of ignorance only you are complaining about the world, but in reality, the world is neither good nor bad. It is a moral gymnasium, a stage given by the nature, by the Prakriti, for you to work out your samskaras and grow up. What a beautiful concept or idea. And again, one more point, a beautiful point he discusses now. There's a last point, that why should we study scriptures? Then they ask, so, I mean, recently, I mean, just before the class, 15, 20 minutes, a group of youngsters had come, they were discussing and all. Swamiji, controlling the mind is very difficult. It is very difficult. Meditation, controlling the mind. So many questions they were asking, and they were telling it's all difficult, it is all difficult, it is all difficult. Yes, it is all difficult, but possible, I said. No, Swami Vivekananda is telling the relevance and the beauty of the scriptures. Why should we study scriptures? He says that when you are studying scriptures, when you are hearing the scriptures, the fundamental truths or the universal truths, time and again, you are keep on hearing, that creates an impact on your mind that will guide your thinking, guide your actions, guide your thought process. Shrotavyo, mantavyo, nididhyasitavya. In Upanishad, we say we have to hear, we have to contemplate, we have to think, we have to think, we have to think, and we have to put into practice. That's why we have to tell. We have to keep on listening or studying scriptures, listening scriptures, so that it will regulate our thought process. It will systemize thought process. It will tell what is right, what is wrong, what is right, what is proper and what is improper, what is real and what is appearance or illusion. That idea we get it, that is a reason we have to listen, he says. And after that, Swamiji is giving very one practical solution for all of us is what? After listening to all these things, we have to put into practice. What is the way to practice these higher truths, higher values? If you ask, Swami Vivekananda is giving a beautiful analysis that fix your goals. I tell in a layman's language, first, every one of us, we should have this question, what do I want? I want to eat, sleep. I want to eat and sleep. Okay, fine. But be clear that eat and sleep. I want to enjoy this world. Okay, be clear, enjoy, and as a part, you will get suffering also, but be ready to accept. Or I want spirituality, I want God, or I want a woman, or I want power, I want position, I want to be a celebrity, or I want to be a millionaire, or I want to be research, I want to be a scientist. Whatever you want, be clear in your approach or in your desire. That's what Swamiji is telling. Set your goal properly. When you set your goal, what happens? Then your life, your thinking, your thought process will get channelized, and that will act as a propelling force to reach your goal, and it will channelize your time and energy spent, everything. That's what Swami is doing. And he gives a beautiful analysis, and which is often quoted. A person or a man, of course, woman is also included. If a person who has an ideal, who has a goal, he may make 1,000 mistakes. But a person who doesn't have a goal or ideal, he commits 50,000 mistakes. Having a goal and ideal is difficult. And having a goal and ideal, if you don't achieve, that's really painful. We can all understand, but still we are on the track. We may do mistakes, we may do success, we may be success, we may be failure. We may do a lot of mistakes again and again, and we may not be going too further. But still I'll be on the track. But a person who doesn't have a goal or ideal, he will be doing many blunders, but he or she is not aware of, or he or she may not be aware of it. So role of ideal and goal is very important for all of us. That's what Swami is telling. Then he says that, okay, having a goal I've set, I am trying. Now, sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm failure. Or in something I'm successful, and in something I'm failure person. Then what should I do? If I'm a successful person, fine, I'm happier and etc. When I'm a failed person, when I'm not able to do it, I will feel morose, I will feel dejected, I will feel unhappy, or I will lose my confidence. All these problems, we all know that. Then what do I think, or how should I take upon it? That Swamiji is asking. Swami tells very clearly, Swamiji means Swami Vivekananda, never mind about the failures. If you are successful, that means you are on right path. So keep continuing. If it's a failure, understand, accept, rationally think why there was a failure, because for what reason, what is the problem in me, or whatever the solution, whatever the circumstances. Understand, try to rectify, and keep progressing, keep progressing, keep progressing. So don't bother, don't get agitated, don't get affected by failures. That's what Swami is telling. That doesn't mean that don't be insensitive. That doesn't mean that don't care for that. No, don't be reactive. Instead of that, accept, analyze, and try to rectify yourself, try to improve yourself. That's what Swami Vivekananda is saying. Because for fear of failure, we should not make an attempt at all. That is wrong. That's what Swami Vivekananda means here. Because I can be failure, because I may not be successful, I don't know what happens. So because of the fear of failure, I should not think, or I should not make attempt. That is a wrong idea. Keep on progressing, keep on trying, keep on trying, try again until you succeed. And where there's a will, there is a way. That's what Swami Vivekananda is telling. So never mind about failures, never mind about problems. They're all keep on coming and going. Accept it and keep progressing. So this is what the Vedantic point. When you say I am the self, the whole your life and whole of your life struggle can be beautifully harmonized. Beautifully, it can be thought over from the Vedantic perspective. That's what Swami is telling. And he says that Vedanta can be the best philosophy for society, for socialic philosophy, political philosophy, economical philosophy, for human relations, for family relations, for everything. Swamiji has not told directly. I am in between lines, I'm reading, and I'm putting forth in front of you according to my understanding. So by manifesting the divinity, by experiencing the divinity, I can harmoniously become better person, and I can probably contribute more to society. So whether you are a monk, whether you're a householder, whether you're a doctor or a solicitor or an IT employee or whatnot, any walk of life we may be there, but we can lead the happiest life. That is what the Swami Vivekananda is telling. So you need not to give up the world. You need not to give up the money. You need not to give up your family life. You need not to give up your desires. You can have all these things, but only give up the attachment, give up the possessorship, give up the unnecessary, clinging onto things. That is what Swamiji is saying. And he says that this is what scriptures are saying. But unfortunately, we have taken it in the literal sense, the primary meaning, or in the literal sense, it is called Vachyartha and Lakshyartha. Vachyartha is literal meaning, Lakshyartha is applied meaning. So we have taken the literal meaning and we have misunderstood the scriptures. Why? Because give up the world, renounce the world, it is not the common phenomena for everyone. Give up desires, you should not have desires. That is not possible. It is impractical, probably. For few people, it is possible. Give up bad desires, wrong desires, we can say. Give up desire at all means, oh, Swami, sorry. Maybe for you, we will leave for you only. It is not for us. We need desires. We have desires. We may think that. So Swami Vivekananda is saying, give up desire means give up possessorship, give up attachment, give up clinging to the world and to the objects. That means what? You are trying to increase your circumference. You are trying to increase your circumference. How? I will give an example probably. When I'm a family, what generally you think? My father, mother, grandpa, maybe my children, that's my family. Fine. Increase your family, neighbors, relatives, also my family. Then it can be increased to your town, that can be increased to your county, that can be increased to your country, that can be increased to your humanity. That's what we can see in the Swami Vivekananda's life. You can see in the saint's life. That's what we can see in the Jesus Christ life, in the Shankaracharya's life. They, they embrace the entire humanity as their family. Means their circumference of us or ours got increased. This is one of the way to expand ourselves, to get away of the desires. That's what even Sri Ramakrishna tells that. Now I have got some desires. How to cope up? How to take care of that? So let me have a desire that let me become a better human being. Let me lead a good life. Let me lead the highest life, God-centered life, conscious-centered life. So you are trying to increase the circumference of your desires, circumference of your understanding, circumference of your belongingness, circumference of your personality. That is also a way to embrace the consciousness or experience the consciousness. One is telling that I am the self and I am the consciousness, not the body, not the mind, not the world, not the objects, which is called neti neti marga. The other is, I am that Brahman, I am that self. And self is all pervasive. Consciousness is all pervasive. In saint and in sinner, in my friend, in my enemy, in objects, everywhere the conscious is there. So let me love, let me accept, let me embrace everyone. That's what all the saints, messages we can see. And afterwards, Swami Vivekananda, few more slokas, the meanings he tells, and he makes a beautiful one more conclusion that Advaita doesn't doesn't advocate the diversity, the manifoldness. The non-dualistic philosophy says that there's only one truth. That is what consciousness. And consciousness is manifesting in these different forms. That's all we can say. So it doesn't accept the manifoldness. It accepts the only one reality, one truth. That is not dogmatic. I'm not say, explaining, telling this in the from dogmatic sense or in the fanatical sense. It is from the truth point of view. Truth is only one, that is self or consciousness or Atman or Brahman, and that is appearing as I, you, animal, bird, satellite, galaxy, stars, chair, table, and all. That's all. So consciousness alone exists, and it is appearing as all these things. So this is what we have to experience. That's what the Ishavasya Upanishad is telling, according to Swami Vivekananda, and he explained with one or two analogies. Just one question is there from the viewers. So one person, I think, Maurice or Maris, is asked that having desire to make money and to help the poor and hungry people, is it an attachment? When I think of this, I feel people are crying for help and should do something. Yes, it is not an attachment. Rather, it is a good feeling because we have to be compassionate. We have to be, considerate for our fellow human beings. We should try to help. But while helping, we should not desire for name and fame, desire for recognition, desire for, oh, because I've helped people, so they should be grateful to me. They should give me glory. They should give some prizes. They should give some awards. So that type of expectation, if it is there, then that will be an attachment. Otherwise, serving fellow human beings, serving the needy, definitely it is a sign of noble act. I think as much as possible, every one of us, we should try. Thank you. So this, I've given in a nutshell this particular lecture. We can think a bit deeply, and there are many different shades and different corollaries also can be deduced from this beautiful lecture, God in Everything, based on Swami Vivekananda's lectures. Now I've given a snapshot. Next week we'll be discussing about what is realization. What is the realization from the Vedantic point of view, based on Swami Vivekananda's lectures, which he gave in London in 1896. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamas.